Ladies and Germans, how y'all doing? This is Koruck.
And this is Rangroo. Hello, hello, hello.
And folks, today we're bringing you another spiffy little matchup here over on the Tali Ihantala map. Now, Rang, who is duking it out? What are they bringing to the fray?
On the left-hand side in blue, we have ourselves sehandur playing as Koruck 559 with a Vanguard income. And on the right-hand side in the red, we have Gonzo playing the 6th Airborne Division, also with a Vanguard income.
So, if you saw the battle groups that we kind of put on the map, just a quick call out. Early Focke-Wulf coming on in as recon, Ju-87s galore. I mean, lots of Koruck kind of Junker play, and that's something you and I were talking about just before we got started. This is how Koruck gets by, right?
Yeah.
6th Airborne, what do they bring to the fray, and how's it, a little bit different?
A pretty standard 6th Airborne. We have a lot of airborne troops, of course. They're pretty well effective. A bit of light armor and medium armor they get, but he has a lot of airplanes, as we saw in the battle group screen. So I'm expecting he's going to be using a lot of that, and he probably will want to, as those airplanes are really bloody good, and also helps you shooting down all the bloody Junkers that Koruck brings.
No, I am a little bit surprised to see as much glider crew in the deck as we do. In fact, I mean, we have a card super early here, and then we're trying to look a little bit later on. No, I don't see a whole lot later on, but I'm really, really surprised to see the glider stuff. Why would you bring gliders?
You just want meat shields, I guess. Just wants to draw some fire, especially in the current SD meta, where the best way to perform recon is just throw guys and hopefully you get shot at and then just return fire. Glider crew are pretty good at that once there's no glider to crew anymore. But it's actually making some pretty good progress, as you're seeing in the northern center of the map. We got two snipers just picking off these Landschutzens, and Gonzo is trying to make it to the other side of this crossroad, so to speak. There's a lot of material now coming in, of course. Koruck being Koruck, it's just disheartened infantry for days.
Yeah, but ooh, wait. Tempest is getting into the fray. We've actually already seen one Euchre go down to ground fire. A second Euchre go down from the Tempest. I would not be surprised. Oh wow.
Wow, what the? It isn't.
No, you want to know why? It's the 20 mils. It's all the 20 mils.
Yeah. You do not want to let Junkers get behind you. It's not the best fighter in the road, but just like with the IO2, it has a lot of DACA.
It certainly does. Now, the thing I was going to attempt to call out is that while we have lots of Landschutzen coming on and all the Schupos, I mean, as good as all the snipers are, you're not going to be able to kind of repel wave upon wave of just mad infantry attacks.
Yeah. It's just kind of the problem when fighting Koruck. It's just a lot of dudes. And the 6th Airborne stuff is pretty good, but not a lot of it is, immediate, alpha damage of flamethrowers or a huge amount of SMGs has received, like Russian, Superior, Scrod, or Abdomen Cheekies. They're a little bit more well-rounded. And in a, against spam infantry like this, I find that to be a lot less useful.
Well, we are going to see some of those more fiery tempers over here by the Canadian Paris, but man, they're getting strafed by Ju-87s.
Yeah.
But he's got to be careful with Ju-87s. They get less and less as time goes on here. Ooh, Vielfachwerfer going into the forest? No. Vielfachwerfer looking for those Polstons and that command Tetrarch in the back. This could be kind of interesting, because if the Polstons can keep the Ju-87s at bay, Koruck could definitely go down.
Yeah, and having the 2-star veteranry and the Polstons definitely help out quite a little bit in the anti-aircraft efficiency. I also do like seeing the A-phase Vielfachwerfer. Not something you see all that often, but it's a pretty good piece of kit, and we're seeing him trying to actually kills the tank, but not the AA of all things.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a good thing to remember that the Tetrarch itself, not the most durable of pieces of equipment.
I think they fitted it with red cardboard.
I'm pretty sure you're right, actually. Geez, the Tempest and the Ju-87, that's not going to be a pretty sight.
Oh, but the Junkers is surviving for now. Probably not for much longer, as the Tempest takes a while to turn about.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not quite like that Scorpion song, but he's still gonna be rocked like it was a hurricane. Oof.
Here we
Okay.
go.
Yep. Now, both decks, as you guys might have seen, are not really built for late play. In fact, I think we get really only a couple of C cards of Shupos over here on Sehandur's side. Not too surprising there, but I don't think there's even... No, there is one C card over on the 6th Airborne as well, so...
Yeah. Both sides always, you know, I find a lot of people in 1v1s usually hedge their bet. Now, by always bring at least one C-phase card of regular infantry, because you can't really go wrong for having 27 infantry guys, or 36 for Koruck's case, in a single card. Because there's a good chance that a game will always go to C-phase, unless you're really good.
True. Beautiful trying to pound this teensy tiny little, let's say, zit that's in the middle part of the map here. Not sure why he's investing quite so much firepower in it. I think I'd prefer to look more for the actual flags that matter.
Yeah.
But hey, to each their own. I completely understand it. Another one, though, we've seen the Canadian paratroopers down to the south are still holding strong. But I think that's more because of the sufferance of the Shupo saying, dude, it's not worth just fighting you right now. Let's just bring up more artillery, more troops, and just pound you into dust from there.
Yeah, it's a safer bet. I do like this little group of Flammenwerfers as having a little pool party, or lake party, I should say. It's a very odd position to have them.
Well, especially since they're not in any kind of way to even fire back at anything. These guys are just out in the open.
Yeah. You need to pop some smoke and run away.
Well, they can't run away. There's a fellow gendarmerie behind them, so, you know. Field police, you're not going anywhere, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And that sniper's getting awfully close. That was a very interesting decision.
He's trying to get, you know, a quick 360 no-scope.
Oh, he's cheapo hunting?
Yeah, he was going to put you on his montage.
We're going to see another Polston barrage. Yeah, this JU-87 is going to... He needs to back off now.
Yeah. Yeah, I do like seeing this much heavy AA from 6th Airborne, because you really don't get much AA period of 6th Airborne. And especially early on, Koruck is very deadly in that A phase with those A phase Junkers, so being able to keep him back and keep your, you know, relatively elite infantry alive and not getting strafed by a bunch of trunny mills is definitely beneficial to the whole plan.
It certainly is. I mean, we do not want a repeat of Arnhem where these guys are cut off, and I think that's why he's desperate to kind of keep from happening. And there we go, yeah, so the air positions anti-air positions have been found out now, and I think we're going to see maybe a second one get taken out. One of them's already gone.
Oh. I feel like Verfer is like pretty damn powerful. Like I haven't seen much like rocket artillery in a while, but it's killing stuff. I mean, it's not heavily armored stuff, but I'm finding it pretty impressive.
Definitely true. No, I think I'm kind of more amused by the fact that we are starting to see Sperverbands trying to keep the airborne Canadian pairs at bay. Ooh, and some actual anti-air from the German side of things. And he's basically got to. Ground attack Tempests pounding those Shupos in the front. And I guess you'd be kind of surprised. You'd think that the Shupos would be a little bit more elite than disheartened here, but I don't know. Maybe I'm operating under a false assumption here.
No, I also like the reserve troops just for like police actions, rounding up partisans, etc. I don't believe they were the most rail trained. Even though it's like the whole contradiction of like people think, oh, SS troops are super elite, but not the rear guard guys. They were just shooting civilians, really.
Well, or in this particular case, where JU-87 strafing a Canadian parrot with an inch of the squad's life, which is just brutal.
Yeah, those Junkers are so bloody good. Especially against some more infantry-focused divisions such as 6th Airborne, as you can get a lot of mileage out of your Junkers.
I think like mileage a little bit better, but you know, to each their own, I suppose. Rona Pioneers being brought into the south central side as we are seeing Oxen Bucks as well as a glider crew coming into the north. So which push would, in your particular perspective, get more mileage? That's gonna happen towards the cast. I'm sorry, like just this cast, man. I promise.
Yeah, it's fine. No, I think it's really gonna come down to Koruck, because looking at Sehandur right now, he's doing really good up north. He's managed to get to the other side of the crossroad.
Mm-hmm.
with his huge spam of Shupos, and in the current meta of SC2, just having a huge group of guys is going to really give you advantage.
Well, the amusing thing here is that since all these guys are so disheartened in the first place, it makes you kind of wonder, why are they fighting at all? It's like two guys sitting at home listening to, like, I don't know, insert depressing music here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm listening to The Cure right now with this wet noodle contest, and ooh, another Tempest comes in, takes out another Junkers. But you know what? We're into Phase B. So both guys, they've lost a little bit of verve for the fight. They don't want to kind of do this anymore. What's going to happen here in Phase B?
Probably just more of the same. I mean, 6th Airborne now has access to the Belgian Grenadiers Vault, so just some more standard infantry being thrown in, a little bit more armor for 6 as well. Same thing for sehandur. But yeah, I think this is going to be a pretty standard infantry style match of a lot of spam, a lot of off-map artillery and air power. I think it's really going to come down to the air power. And then Gonzo's doing really good. He shot down another Junkers, and looking at his air tab, he has a lot more planes, mainly Tempest, at his disposal.
Well, that's the other thing too. So, wait, what am I seeing over here for sehandur's Koruck? What's going on with him in Phase B?
Not much really. Like, it's just a bit more infantry, a little bit more anti-air armor. I mean, most of his stuff was, for being a Vanguard deck, is really coming on A phase. It gets more interesting for him C phase when he gets to Tiger, but that's really it.
True. Which I think I'm more about the air tab for him. He really has all of his air powers front loaded.
Yeah.
But what's he bringing on in? I don't want to call it the wrong kind of airplane. You guys are gonna eviscerate me in the comments.
God damn it! Is it the Messerschmitt 410?
Yes.
I think that's the Messerschmitt. Yeah. But yeah, looking at the battlefield, I do like down south where we have Gonzo, the AP Canadian Paras all the way behind enemy lines, and the Shupos actually doing their job of, you know, doing rearguard action to try and rout out these sneaky troops.
Well, the thing is right now too is that, ooh, wow, there is still a Centaur or two that is just engaging from a long, way downtown, and I think the thing the Corps got to be very careful about here is that now we're going to get a couple of Cromwells on the front lines. Not many. Only 8 of them, really, over the entire battle space. But, not really what you want to be seeing when your anti-tank tab is, I hope he doesn't bring tanks.
Yeah, he only has the Pack 36s and 5 Pack 40s available. So yeah, 6th Airborne's lack of armor, or armor he has, is not a terrible matchup in this case. I mean, once C-phase hits, Tigers become a bit of a threat, but the Cromwells right now in B definitely have a lot of room to maneuver about.
Well, one of the major, let's say, contributors to the Koruck battle plan has just been taken out by strafing. So the Wiederflakwerfer is down, and if you look to the north, if you look to the north, this push from sehandur, it ain't gonna last. Cromwell's with the Grenadier Volts coming on up as well, so the Voltigeurs, the Belgian Voltigeurs. Resurgent push in the south. Yeah, this is a full court press happening here.
Yeah, the armor really gives Gonzo much needed firepower, because infantry are elite, and he is using a good job of having the leaders nearby. But I find like I said before, you don't have a lot of those, high alpha damage weapons, which you really need just to clear out these huge froth of guys.
True. I'm trying to see over here sehandur's side of things from other firepower. I am surprised he's not brought in any stovepipes or his, standard military, there's artillery here in Phase B.
Yeah. I think it's in a match it's definitely gonna... I mean, I always say, like, artillery is underused, but it's in a match where some of those howitzers would definitely be useful, especially against such an infantry-focused division, such as 6th Airborne. And if you play your howitzers right, and you move them a little bit, they shouldn't get straight by airplanes. So they're relatively safe, relatively speaking.
One thing I'm not really enjoying right now is that sehandur, I mean, I know that people are extremely cautious of doing that whole kind of Winchester, I made a strafing run, I killed it, I'm out. I feel like from the standpoint that I know my air power is not a dogfighting kind of material, unless it's like the head-to-head that we saw earlier. Once you hit your thing, either get over your own lines or get out.
Yeah, he's been losing a lot of his Junkers now, and it's not going to be pretty for him. As we're seeing down south, it's a pretty good push here from Gonzo of the center. I was actually getting some long-range hits downtown on the anti-aircraft pieces, but I would say a lot of infantry in the forest, but most of it has actually been killed.
Yes, it has, and most of the anti-air positions too, so if you let the Tempest to really get going, that's going to cause a lot of hassles here.
Yeah. Yeah, Tetrox can just barrel on through because there's not really much anti-tank to speak of. Apart from that one Pike 36, which will probably be in a good position relatively shortly.
Well, and I'm surprised that we haven't seen maybe more Spareforbads being brought into the south. Considering all the investment that he had in, let's say, earlier anti-tank weaponry in terms of the light pack guns, the Pack 36s, not sure why he's not being a little bit more, why he didn't maybe just shift back into Phase B with that Spareforbad, get a little bit more utilization out of the card.
Yeah,
but, you know...
We're all seeing T-34,
True.
I think will
True.
probably help out quite a bit.
True, and I'm totally being a backseat general here too, so that's entirely a viable suggestion.
Because yeah, just a little bit of medium armor, yeah, quite a bit of T-34s now he's bringing onto the field. Will definitely help out, because they match up pretty well against the Cromwells. Actually having a AP gun.
Okay, another wave of Shupos, another wave of Grenadier Voltska being brought into the north. And right now, sehandur is rocked back on his heels. You want to see right now the 6 squads being brought in. One to the north, what's that? 1, 2, 3 to the kind of central position. He's really going to try to develop this. This is an interesting push.
Yeah,
it's
I do like this push. It's working pretty well from Gonzo's area. It does seem to move like Cromwell in that Northern Ireland to get some useful firepower hits.
Well, one thing...
Yeah.
I would like to see actually a little bit more of the 2 Cromwells from the back lines. He's bringing them here to the north. I'd actually like to see them redeployed here in the central position. I know we just talked about the fact that the Verona technically is a higher AP, and, you know, on paper is a rather decent opponent for the Cromwells. You got to be able to concentrate that armor, and if you're going to throw in a good chunk of material here, basically all these Grenadiers, why not try to develop it with as much vehicle capacity as you have?
Yeah, especially in a more open field.
Yes.
That would definitely help out quite a bit. Yeah, the Grenadier Vulture actually managed to get into the town unmolested as all the infantry were really out of position to shoot, so that's pretty good for them.
Well, shockingly enough, that the field police over here were able to take out a truck by themselves, so proving that the cops can actually do something over here in SD2. As always, we keep any kind of political discussion exterior to this game, so let's just kind of leave it there.
At least they're better than NKVD cops. I wouldn't want them knocking on my door.
No, except I'm pretty sure that they knock with Maxims, so... that's the only Maxim they live by. And again, and like you said already, so actually, you know what? I guess I can understand the Cromwells being brought on in here, but I have to assume that my opponent's got anti-tank material with his infantry. I don't know how many Spareforbats he's got. I should assume myself that there's some kind of, let's say, surprise coming out. So yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, he's been pretty aggressive with them, but it's working so far. He hasn't been too punished for it. He did lose one to the Pike 36 in the center position here, and it does seem like sehandur has managed to secure kind of like that center southern area.
Oh my god, four surrenders? 4 surrenders with a tank.
Holy crap. I just see what you're looking at. That is pretty embarrassing.
And that desperate Pack 36 is like, dude, quick. Oh shit, never mind.
Really taking that whole cavalry tank thing to heart, you know?
It was shocking. At this point, the Ju-87 is trying to blindly fire at him. As you might suspect, you don't hit... You miss 100% of the shots you do take sometimes when you're that.
I like how both of those planes played chicken and both lost.
Well, I mean, dude, that's an outcome, man. That's gonna happen sometimes.
It's just like War Thunder, man. Every single head-to-head match. But usually in War Thunder, it's not because you shoot each other, you just both crash into each other and doing a head-on. It's every single time, man.
Yeah, honestly, it was one of those things I always hated. It was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go to head to head with you. Oh, my guy got knocked out immediately. Guess I didn't go and skill that up. Fine, skill it up.
Yep.
Oh, my wing came off. Oh, let's skill that up, and just yeah.
Yeah, it got pretty annoying.
Absolutely.
Yeah. This has been like a very good B phase for Gonzo. He's managed to really put the momentum on the battlefield, especially up north, and he is up 15-9. So it's whether he can keep it up here on C. Both sides have lost quite a bit of income, but they still have a lot of material to work with. I'm interested to see what sehandur will do if he decides to bring out a tiger or two, because they could be good. Maybe. We'll see.
Well, the pack's there. I mean, the pack could definitely kind of keep him at arm's length. It's not going to be for certain. And I guess the other thing, too, is that, yes, there's still a couple of anti-air positions here and there, but overall, sehandur doesn't have a whole lot to fight back against the air power. I'll stress it out, man. I'll give it high blood pressure until it dies. That's fine. But I can't do the opposite. I can't strafe all of the, Cromwell's coming in. I can't strafe a lot of the infantry, and the infantry's gonna. That's the thing that's gonna win the battle here.
Yep, and Gonzo has managed to use his infantry pretty efficiently, having the armored support backing them up as well. And yes, seen a bombing run on the Landschutzen. Oh, napalm on Landschutzen, yeah. And the Grenadier Folk are actually going to get kicked out of position because there's just so many Shupos all around them.
Yes, but there's still a couple of squads here that just are pretty beefy. So one Shupo's going to go down immediately, which I think should probably bring back some of the territory. There you go.
Yep. Never mind.
Oh no, there's gonna be a couple of accidental surrenders here. Oh, that's a heartbreak one.
Yeah. It's too bad they're not the paratroopers, because they would have got the bonus for being stuck behind enemy lines right now.
Actually, I also feel bad for that Oxen Bucks that's a little further north. He's got no Lee and foot ammo. He's got no Bren. Yep. Now he's got no life. So it's just that's a rough thing to see sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, sehandur has actually managed to push back pretty rapidly just in the first 2 minutes of C phase, actually getting the point advantage. As Gonzo has lost his steam, and well, there's always more Shupos, and I think that's really what we're going to be seeing from sehandur. We're seeing that Cromwell push up north, again a little bit closer to the pack.
Oh wow, and he was fighting the heat cannon out that too. Ooh, that was super unlucky.
Yeah. Now the Cromwell can just start running over. Well, I guess he can just shoot them too, that works. It's not like Company of Heroes you can actually run. Can he actually run over stuff in Company of Heroes?
Oh yeah, they got abused like crazy. Okay. Yeah, Tank Crush was absolutely insane.
I think I remember that, because you could just, like, if you micro it right, you just, paste, Folkstrom squads on the road.
Oh yeah, I raged hardcore about that. That was not fun times. Tempest is coming back in. One going after that Messerschmitt, and as you might suspect, he says, maybe it's time to go. I'm more intrigued.
sehandur really needs anti-air. He does have a few heavy anti-aircraft pieces, but I think he's used a lot of his Shoff, like light and medium AA pieces already, and that's a big deal. That's a big deal, because 6th Airborne is gonna be just keep on coming with those Tempests, and they're very good at just raping out big blobs of Shupos.
Certainly true, certainly true. Northern side, though, as you can see here, the weight of numbers is beginning to tell. More Grenadier Volts being brought on in. And like you said, and like we discussed early on, what do we have coming here in Phase C? Well, we have more AV Paras with veterancy. So I know veterancy is not the be-all, end-all that it used to be. But let's see. Will I take 22 AV Paras, or will I take 26 Shupos? Gee, I wonder which one's better.
It's 36.
Oh, it's 36.
Yeah.
Still, whatever. So yeah, resolution's a little bad in my picture, my bad. But, which one? Oh, come on. Like, I know quantity has a quality all its own.
I would take the Shupos, man.
I cannot tell you.
It's just about numbers. No, it's just about numbers, in my opinion. I mean, you do have actually a good point, because AV Paras, you have the
There's still the AT component there.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's so much more viable. And then
yeah.
And the Tempest, I mean, Tempest here in the north, yes. ME-410, he's gonna get a bombing run off. Yes, that sucks. Piat AB Paras are gonna go down. But the air power still here is in favor of the 6th Airborne.
Mm-hmm. He's doing a really good job. We've actually seen one of the 2 fighters that sehandur can bring out, and I don't think it's going to be enough. The Messerschmitt doesn't really match up that well against the Tempest, I believe. Yeah, especially G6 doesn't have the heavy armament.
No, it's actually just luckier that the pursuit curve wasn't quite as aggressive as it could have been.
Yeah. But yeah, Gonzo slapped back now. It's back 14-10. Things are really flipping and flopping between both sides as Gonzo has meant to capture that like crossroad town once again. But you just can't get any fire support on the other side. His Grenadiers' votes are just getting picked off by the horde of SS Shupos.
Oh, I like how we have this conga line of Heimat Flak, the 20 mils being brought on forward.
What does Heimat mean?
I don't know off the top of my head. I knew at one point. My German's not coming to me at the late hour that we're doing this year.
Comments, go! Please, Archers.
Preferably a German speaker, but we will take Rooster in a heartbeat. Shoot more Shupos. Pack 40, one of the few Pack 40s that have survived being called in for these Soviet-style attacks. I'm actually still surprised. There has still been no mortars coming on in. I know he's got them. He's shown them in the deck here. I mean, and I know he's got these artillery pieces too. Like, this to me, that's an oversight that I think is gonna really, really cause issues.
I'm actually really surprised I haven't even seen any off-map from 6th Airborne either, because that's, you know, this is a run v1. This would be at least like 7 off-map artillery strikes into C phase. But he doesn't really need it. I think he's managing to just do fine with the air power, all things considering. But yeah, right for sehandur. He does need to get some. We did lose a Relic there, which is a pretty big loss, but just getting some of those stive pipes out. He needs some firepower because, I mean, he is continuing with the Shupo spam, and you don't go too wrong with the Shupo spam. But you need to have, you know, actual other fire support backing you up. And if all the Junkers dead, yeah, we actually just shot down a Messerschmitt or Mosquito.
It was on Mozzie, yeah.
Yeah. You could probably get the second, Joe.
Nah.
No.
No, the Mosquito's really, really dumb.
But yeah, he's just lacking high explosive firepower. Kind of like the problem that we see with people who play 15 Scots, where all they do is only spam the rifles, and they never get any of the artillery or tanks in the field to actually back up the rifles. Because there's only so much you can do with a rifle. You know, if it's a tank, you can kind of bash it a bit with the butt of the gun, but you're not going to do too much, and you probably just anger the people inside. And they're in a tank, so you don't really want to anger them to begin with.
Also, you're seeing kind of what my major hang-up here with having Shupos here in Phase C. Yes, it's a 4-to-1 plus a tank, but like, I'm sorry, you're not getting any kind of consistent damage, to use your term from before. The alpha damage from a K98 and the MP40s, unless you're super, super close, is way too low to be really viable.
Yeah, he needs other things on the field. He does have, like, some support guns, actually, in his tank.
Yeah.
And also, like, some machine guns, but yeah, he's focusing more on air power, and just, he's just getting a lot of Shupos. Have you seen some off-map up north, some naval?
I was just going to say, I was looking over here at Gonzo, and I was like, dude, what the heck? Wait a second. He's got several different off-map sources. I think it was at least 3 here.
Yeah.
And with the Shupo rush coming on in, the 381's that's gonna be the end of it.
We're seeing Tempest, and there we go. Messerschmitt's down. And yeah, that's a pretty good barrage, knocking out an entire anti-aircraft park.
Yes, it will be. Yes, it will be. I had thought he was going to drop it on the crossroads to the north of that, but maybe he's. Oh, wait a sec. There's going to be a Shupo foot push across this open field, and unfortunately,
not for much longer.
Unfortunately for the 20 mils, there was a chance that one of the 20 mils could have gotten out, but unfortunately, he's not pushing it any further than this. And let's just watch the end of this anti-air park. And so it begins. This is the moment when Sehandur's like, "This is all you can conjure up, Gonzo man." And then the 381 happens, and all of his guys start crying. A little bit less efficacious than I would have hoped for.
Is there more? Is there more explosions?
There's a couple more.
Here we go. Thank you.
But shockingly enough, it's been no HP damage, literally on anything.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's pretty amazing how a British battleship can shoot all the way from the coast of Normandy to Finland. I didn't know the guns were that good.
Well, actually, they're not. That's why they keep getting. That's why they're only getting morale damage.
Just a little bit to the left, Nigel. Oh, I can't bloody see the country from here.
Exactly.
Shoot.
It's absolutely right. Absolutely right. Tempest coming in, just shutting down the shoot post here, and the shoot post moving across the open field. Again, AB Paras. I know we will go and take shots over here at the Brennans, but the Brennans are still more than enough to keep shoot posts at bay. Like, congratulations, he's got an MG-26.
Yeah, I think the Shupo gun is actually worse than the Bren statistically.
You might be right. I'm not sure off the top of my head.
Or it's like very similar. So it's not that much of a, but it's really coming down to the veterancy for the powers, and just even just at one Tetrarch up north is providing a lot of fire support with his rinky-dink machine gun.
Now the rather unfortunate thing. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's the right call.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I know the gut reaction for a lot of people, and me included, I think, under the circumstances, would be, let me bomb the 20 mils? No. You kill the anti-tank things, and as much as the 20 mils will stress out your Tetrarchs and the kind of minimal kind of armor support that's left, your armor can handle it. Yeah. So that was absolutely the right call here. And we have 2 more 20 mils being brought on in, desperately trying to keep them at bay.
Mm-hmm. And all things considering, like, Sehandur's losing, but he's holding. He's I want to say he's stopping the bleed, but he's slowing it down a bit. And I think it's just due to the huge amount of bodies he's thrown on the front line.
Yes.
I mean, it's just there's a lot of chaff that Gonzo's gonna have to push through, and with just, I mean, AB powers do beat out Shupos 1-to-1 and with the fire support of the Tetrarchs, but it's gonna take a while to have to clear all these forests of all these Shupos, and that's just slowing down Gonzo and actually bringing it back to a trove.
Well, you and I, we have Little John Daimlers to the north, and you and I were discussed the Little John Daimlers, I think, a couple weeks back. The major thing in game that they do have is they have those radios. Recon radios, again, that's a recipe for just absolute success.
Mm-hmm.
But we still see no committed artillery other than those freaking off maps.
I think he's doing pretty good with the airplanes.
I know. I want to see the 75 mils though. I feel like that could definitely be causing a lot more of a hassle.
Especially against the 20 mils.
Yes.
We're seeing, Panzer II up north from Sehandur actually getting some bloody armor, because he needs it. I'm still quite surprised you haven't seen a Tiger yet, because the Tiger definitely in the center or stealthing position would, I would say it perform well, but as received by God Vision, it's 2 6-pounders, and knowing Steel Division, those 6-pounders are pretty, not Tiger friendly. I wouldn't bring him in a zoo.
True. Now, one thing I'm going to moderately disagree with the fact about being surprised about not seeing that Tiger is that just from an economic perspective, it is way too pricey at this point.
Oh yeah, they're both playing Vanguard.
Yes.
That's a good point.
Income curve is just not going to be friendly towards that.
Yeah. Usually with units I find, a unit's better if you can at least always buy one with one income tick. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because of a Tiger in this case, if he has 0 point, he has to wait 2 minutes to buy it, which is kind of a pain. It's nicer to have a unit where by the time you're at this income, you can just buy it immediately. But of course, you still need to take heavy if you need it. You might still need heavy armor in the late game. What I'm trying to say is that I always try to match up my deck so I can buy the unit with the income phase in 1 tick.
Yeah, if you have to stall out, I mean, that means you're losing reinforcement points across the map overall. Yeah. You have to wait. That's a bit of a problem. We are seeing that the Daimler Little Johns are trying to clean up the 381, which legitimately fired 3 different barrages and they killed 1 Shupo squad.
Yeah.
Yes, it stressed him out, but I feel like 381 from an accuracy perspective was not really what the doctor was ordering.
Yeah, I mean, they are shooting from Normandy, to be fair. I think they were accidentally hitting Normandy in those first few shots.
So I'm like, yeah, fire at 215. You said 315? Okay, yeah, fire at 315. Yeah, exactly.
Right, yeah. Sweden.
Yeah, I thought he meant the area code. My bad. Sorry, wrong country code. Oh man. I do also have to admire the fact that Sehandur is definitely taking it on the back. He's rocking on his back heels here. But I do like the usage here of the ME410 trying to go and stop the little bit of armor that exists over here still from Gonzo.
Yeah.
Pioneers can't do a whole lot. Yes, they're going to throw the Gebalteladungs at them. Yes, they're going to try to kind of keep them pressured and kind of off heels. But he's doing everything he can. He's got no more anti-tank.
Yeah,
it's all dead. Yes.
I'm really liking this, like, ballsy dying the Little John push. It's working really well. It's just causing a lot of havoc in the backline here in the center position with those two. And the run up north is still alive, which doesn't seem it should be, but there's no anti-tank, so...
Well, there's a T-60 coming in.
There's a problem for Sehandur. Yeah.
There's a T-60. So the thing is that whoever gets the first shot wins.
I think it's going to be the T-60s coming up.
Well, it's Damo's going to rotate. He's rotating. Yeah, he's going to go down. Oh, yeah, I was going to say, wait a second. The T-60 has that autocannon. I always forget about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Koruck 559, this is the only one that you're only going to be able to do that against. You cannot do that against pretty much any other division.
Mm-hmm.
But Koruck is just so freaking light that you can get away with these kind of ballsy plays.
Yeah, it's just, as you know, like, just the Koruck infantry, it's not going to be much anti-tank you have to worry about, so you can just rush up through forest and bring some armor, and just as long as not, you know, that one spare for band squad with the Panther Shreks, or maybe a Pack 36, or of course other armor. There's still a lot of things that can blow up, but a lot less compared to playing a standard German Panzer Division with Panzerfaust and all their infantry.
True. But, I mean, this is more of a consequence of the Shupo barrages, and I say barrages kind of not really even being tongue-in-cheek. But neither side has really seen that kind of expected thing where we have just no more infantry or no more units in a particular part of the theater. We're starting to see that develop now in the south. That's just more been because Sehandur has invested so much in that northern position.
Yeah, and this southern position being captured is a pretty big blow, because that's a huge pain in the ass. I don't say it's a huge pain in the ass, because you can take it from the south and up north, that bulge, but it's still a big gain for Gonzo.
No, it's definitely a pain in the ass. I mean, think about it. You can only assault it from the north, from the south, which means you have to go and suffer any kind of Daimler fire. There's no real way to usually just push in too easily. Yeah,
these Daimlers are just doing a fantastic job of denying reinforcements now.
Yes.
There's no tanks. I mean, he really just needs to bring in... I wouldn't say anti-tank out, but I think he's probably out at this point. Yeah, this is tough, and yeah, looking at the points, the handles just completely getting ready to 8-16. So I think this is pretty much it for him.
Well, I mean, we are seeing the occasional kind of bright moments, and I put that term kind of almost tongue-in-cheek here. A couple of the squads right now, AB Paris in the north, surrounded, cut off, and killed. But, like, look at all the investment he had to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's like 12 squads of infantry and a couple tanks to take out 2. That's just, unfortunately, it's just not numbers you can use.
Yeah, and this is... I mean, so will eventually accumulate into a good push, I think, if this match continues, but it's a little bit too late at this point. So, and it's going to take way too long for your Shupos to, you know, run up to the enemy flank. But yeah, Gonzo just doing a very good job this match, being very aggressive, especially in B phase, and I think it really came down to his effective use of tanks and airplanes as fire support to ward off the Shupo spam.
Absolutely right. I think we're going to see a dead Shupo behind the lines here. Close quarters action between Gonzo's Paras and the Shupos of Sehandur. And with that, the last couple seconds ticking on down, a very, very valiant effort over here by Sehandur. I think had he not been so profligate with his air power early, we could have seen a very, very different result.
Yeah, he needed to keep his Stukas alive. Probably even just having, I think you can get them in B or C phase as well. But having a little bit of extra air power, firepower, or actually using some of his artillery, I think would have helped out. Because as we saw, once he lost, those airplanes, his useful high explosive damage appliers, he just fell into the problem of, well, I got bow action rifles and a Czech machine gun. Can't really do too much against British armor. Or
no, I do want to make a quick call out.
For me.
I do want to make a quick call out over here from kills though. Jeez, there's a 6-pounder who did absolutely amazing. We didn't even pay any attention to him. I think he was in the south central part.
Yeah.
Centaur as well. That was the guy engaging a lot of those anti-tanks from a good range here. Tempest, 1, 2, 3 air kills and many ground strafing. He's the one who killed the Vielfachwerfer, which not for nothing was a big, big kill in that early part of B. Yep. Another Tempest, 2 air kills, lots of ground strafing. No, sorry, excuse me, 3 air kills. Ox and Bucks doing well. Grenadiers Volt doing well. Grenadiers Volt doing well. I mean, probably the least value added might have been that off map. And I feel like, again, the 75 mil, this would have been done, I think, 5 or 10 minutes earlier. I know, yeah. Bold call there, Cotton, but I don't know.
That was, I mean, you have also another Tempest knocked out 3 Pack 36s. This Tempest were on bloody fire. They were doing a real good job. And then looking at losses is
a couple of small moments of happiness.
Is really nothing.
I'm trying to put lipstick on the pig here.
Yeah.
But yeah, the second that the Ju-87s went down, that was the turning point in my mind.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty funny looking at like the KD or like the kills and losses and seeing it losses. There's really nothing pops out, but the KD is actually pretty close. Only 500 difference.
Yes.
It's. I think that's also just Gonzo stuff. Is a bit more expensive.
True.
True. Point rise. Royal Supos are cheap as chips.
Yes, and taste about as good as day old chips. So
it's like undercooked chips, They like put in the oven, but you take them out a bit too early, so they're not like frosted anymore, but they're just kind of weird and soggy, but not the good type of soggy where it's like oil. It's terrible sog.
No, honestly, this is just a nice little, moment from the real world outside of this game, but air fryer, man. Gotta use an air fryer. Oh. So, get yourself a mosquito, you put your chips outside, he drops a bombing run, and then there you go. That's what you get. It's a nice crisp, a little bit of char to it, you put the body parts to the side, and everything's great, so...
I keep using my, homemade flamming rifle, but I keep burning my house down.
That's true.
It's getting pretty expensive, and I can't get insurance anymore.
Oh yeah, folks. If you take nothing away from this cast today, just remember that when you verf your flamen, do it outdoors.
Oh, that's what I meant to do. I always keep it indoors, so I wanted to get smoky.
Well, folks, with that moment of Swedish chefery, and I think we're gonna call it quits for this particular cast. Until next time, I'm Koruck.
I'm Rangru. Take it easy.